I don't think I've ever seen a client walk into an office like that before, but okay.
I mean, understandably, it's really awkward to disclose, so Ingrid's logic is not very good.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, my name is Lloyd.
I'm Em.
And we're two former corporate lawyers based out of Hong Kong.
Today, we're back to react to more episodes of Netflix's hit show, Partner Track. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you from the both of us for the great feedback we've been getting from you guys on this reaction series.
And if you're enjoying the series, make sure to hit that like button, consider subscribing, and let us know in the comments what you've liked or disliked so far about this series.
I mean, I didn't even hear about Dan's bullshit until the next day.
Bullshit's a word for it. Just watch. Everyone's gonna shrug it off. No big thing.
Marty called a last-minute all-hands meeting. That never happens.
Oh, you better get in on memorializing your youth. One day left and all.
Below the belt, Robinson.
Rachel Freeman, 30-something? Who even is she?
Over it. And seriously, I don't want any surprise party or birthday presents. I just want to hang at my favorite bar with my besties. Okay?
Okay, quick math, right? So she's turning 30 or 31?
I think they said before she's 29 right now.
Okay, if she did her bachelor's degree, presumably starting at 18, that's a 4-year program. That's 22, and then you add on a JD, which is, what, 3 years in the States?
Yeah.
So that would be 25, but she's a senior associate now?
Yeah.
4 years to senior associate is pretty quick. Usually it's about 5 years or so in our experience.
I'm pretty sure they said she's been working for 6 already. All of them have been working for 6, so the math actually doesn't add up.
Doesn't really add up.
Some of you may know there was an incident at this weekend's retreat.
HR will be investigating to ensure that everyone is abiding by the code of conduct and the law.
Now, some of you may have forgotten
That this firm has a culture of respect. Anyone who undermines that respect will be shown the door.
Marty Adler. All this pomp and circumstance for me?
only a queen's welcome would do for our favorite client, Victoria St. Clair.
As in St. Clair Properties.
I give you Parsons Valentine, New York. We are here for whatever you need. Tell me.
Quick comment. I think it's a bit weird to have an all-hands meeting in what looks like essentially is in the lobby of the firm, because what they're dealing with now would be considered highly sensitive and confidential. So I don't think I've ever been to like a large meeting that wasn't in an enclosed space and not in a lobby where anyone can walk in, like a client.
Yeah, that's a good point. Bit strange.
Yeah.
And just the client interaction is weird too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a client walk into an office like that before, but okay. Of course.
Did you need Murph?
No, I don't need him.
Oh my God. Oh God. Fucking a client? Even I haven't gone there.
Maybe he's not just sleeping with a client. Maybe they're together. I mean, he kissed me back. Who does that when they're with someone else?
Well, you're with Nick.
What do you say?
Jeff Murphy is not with that space.
Ingrid's logic is not very good.
For someone who's such a geek, yeah.
Rachel, there you are. I put together the interview schedule to discuss the retreat. You are at noon. See you then?
Let's not waste our time. I got stuck in a canoe and didn't see Dan's performance, but from what I hear, he's racist as fuck and you should can his ass. Is there anything else?
No, that covers it.
She's my favorite character. I love her.
Same.
I said no birthday presents.
What about your birthday present? Friends can buy things for friends.
Oh, organic gourmet gummies, half caffeine, half THC. It's like he knows me. Ugh, one more person says happy. Oh, hi, Mr. Rosenstein. Are you lost?
One of us might be. I have been going for 40 years to the retreats. Can you imagine that? My point is that in 40 years, I have seen nothing worth a warm bucket of spit except Jargon Man.
Thank you.
I sit on the board of the Syndicate Theater, and it has a crackerjack new writers program. I talked to the program director about you.
You think I should be a writer?
You've got the spark. You should use it.
Thank you.
Oh, and Rachel,
He's gonna take a gummy. He's gonna take a gummy.
happy birthday.
Oh.
worth mentioning that I think it's very rare for a partner to suggest to a lawyer that they should pursue something different. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, I think usually lawyers are quite incentivized to stay in the industry, mostly because, it takes a lot of time to train someone. It takes a lot of time to sort of build them up as a lawyer. So it's very rare that they would encourage you to do something different. Again, my circumstances are a little bit different, but I think a lot of people are in that boat.
I suppose it's rare in the sense that they would suggest something that's not even tangential to law. It's not like, you move to work for the client or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit different if you're on the client side because, that's a good thing for a law firm because then you'll refer more work to the firm, more work to that partner if you're on the client side of things. So generally, a completely different industry is something that's very rare.
Yeah.
Victoria St. Clair is kicking her numbnuts husband to the curb and needs to spin off part of her hotel empire in the divorce settlement. Since you're waiting for Min to get back to you, I want you to handle the divestiture, personally.
Got it. I'm honored.
You should be. This is a very important client, Yun.
As I'm sure you're aware, my divorce lawyers have advised that a divestiture would be the most advantageous move. But I maintain that Alistair deserves precisely fuck and all. He spent our marriage gambling away the money I made.
And yet you're here.
They badgered me into it, the bastards. Mainly by appealing to expediency. Pay him off to go away.
I had a thought on that. The Wellspire chain of mid-price hotels has been hit with dozens of lawsuits for violating the ADA.
Bollocks. They're nuisance suits. The hotels are fully compliant.
Yes, but it's a continuing issue. If we spawn Wellspire off in the divorce,
then Alistair will take on all the liabilities,
leaving you in the clear.
So really quick, just in case it wasn't clear from the context, but a spin-off is basically where you take a part of a business and spin it off into its own separate company, which kind of just makes it a separate legal entity and makes it easier to deal with in circumstances like this. One thing worth mentioning, though, is that ordinarily, if her family lawyers had a corporate division as well, they would usually want to keep it in-house, mostly because the family lawyers could then speak directly with the company lawyers and tell them exactly what's going on with the divorce, right?
I mean, if she's working with a lawyer in a firm which only deals with family law, and she has already retained Parsons, Valentine, and Hunt to deal with her company issues, then it also makes more sense.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
No, and don't mention the retreat. It didn't happen.
Okay, well, about that, Karen from HR scheduled an interview with me. So, what do you want me to say?
Just say what I said. You didn't see Dan's bullshit.
Okay, she asked where I was.
Just.
Hey.
We banged into Canoe at the retreat. It'll never happen again. What do we need to sign?
You did the responsible thing by alerting me. I'll send each of you the paperwork. Please be sure to indicate that it was, in fact, consensual, and let me know if the relationship status changes.
It won't.
Well, then, they have the forms by hand.
I mean, to be fair, this is technically the thing that you should disclose, but I mean, understandably, it's really awkward to disclose, so I think most of the people that I know who have carried on relationships with colleagues don't frequently mention it. Not saying that's right or wrong or judging, that's just sort of what I've observed in my experience.
Yeah.
The very forthcoming of Rachel.
Nice work with Victoria St. Clair. She's inviting you to dinner at her townhouse tonight. Very exclusive.
Wow. Thank you, Marty. Yes, of course. It's an honor.
It is.
I saw Dan on the way in. Is there any news on the investigation? Is Dan being put on probation?
No. He's getting a formal reprimand and a round of executive coaching. It's handled. Let me explain the real here. Dan Fallon is a rainmaker. He's a six-year whose book is better than some partners. Raytheon tickles his balls every time we're on the phone. You have any idea how much money the U.S. government spends on defense contracts every year? The bottom line is that Dan is good for the bottom line, and everything else is bullshit.
What about our culture of respect?
We teach him to keep his goddamn mouth shut. These are the hard decisions you have to make when you're a partner.
Very realistic, actually. So I don't think a partner would ever say this to an associate. I mean, I certainly never see this, but there definitely is this whole vibe within a law firm. I mean, keeping in mind that it is a business, where if there are people that bring in a ton of business and basically make the firm a lot of money through client connections, they tend to get away with a little bit more. And I think this is kind of true. You know, we've heard this from friends working at different firms. We've seen it ourselves as well, where people in somewhat senior positions can get away with billing less, can sort of, you know, just generally be more flexible, I guess, with their lifestyle and stuff, really just because they bring in business for the firm.
I mean, to clarify, what we have seen in terms of, I guess, getting away with more is not Dan's type of behavior, but stuff that's more like maybe their work is like not as high quality or maybe not the same level that might be expected from other people.
Yeah. I think generally speaking, to make partner, and I guess this would depend on the firm, but to make partner, you do actually have to be a pretty good lawyer. But one of the things that is really big is, again, the book of business. It's like if you have a lot of clients, if you have a lot of relationships that sort of bring a constant stream of work for the firm, that is a huge advantage. And we've definitely both seen people that get away with stuff because they have that.
Props to them just saying it straight, although no one ever can say that.
No partner would ever say that, like, not at all. Yeah.
You want to make partner, right, Jan?
Right.
Because I need you to tell your friend Robinson.
Tyler will not be happy.
I already thought of that. Here's what you're gonna do.
Marty called me into his office. The management committee got the HR report.
You're welcome. Probation takes Dan off partner track for the year, right?
Dan's getting a formal reprimand and executive coaching.
What? Wait, no, I just talked to Karen about this.
No, I'm sorry, Tyler.
I don't think I can do this anymore.
If that's what you decide, the firm is willing to offer you $500,000.
Oh, shit.
Severance.
You'd have to sign an NDA.
Are you here to offer me hush money? Who the fuck are you?
Fair question.
Marty said these are the hard choices partners have to make.
Wow. Are you seriously trying to pretend that this isn't totally fucked? You know, Ingrid, I don't know where your head is, but you need to fix this. Tonight, at the bar.
Okay. I'll meet you there after Victoria's party. I have to be at the bar by 9.
We'll stay for an hour. Get you there in plenty of time.
I think it's a little bit unrealistic to expect that you can make it to something after a client event. I mean, I don't think you would typically, practically speaking, schedule something afterwards because there's usually not a definite end time. And I think assuming, based on our experience, that you would be able to leave after an hour is not realistic. It's work after all.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to pick up the cake and get to the bar on time, you should probably go.
Let's just stay for another hour. Marty's still here.
Seems rude to leave.
Yeah,
there we go.
Exactly. You can't just dip.
Consider this my resignation. Fuck Parsons, Ballantyne, and Hunt. Parsons, Ballantyne says they value a culture of respect. Well, Parsons, Ballantyne lies.
You know, the firm's annual diversity gala is coming up in a couple of weeks. And I think, given the sensitivities, that you would make an excellent chair of the event.
I appreciate your confidence in me.
The management committee would be so grateful for your help. Well, I don't need to tell you how much we value an associate's non-legal contributions to the firm when we're making partnership decisions.
Of course, Marty.
She gets baited every time. Okay, this isn't normally how it goes. Like, when people are up for partnership, I think it's kind of a soft understanding, but you don't normally get partners that dangle it in people's face like this and try to pressure them into doing stuff. I mean, they're definitely laying it on really thick. I'm a bit disappointed that she constantly just says yes to all this stuff.
I think she displays an unrealistic level of denseness in terms of like how she's handling these situations. I mean, even if she eventually succumbed, I think it would be more believable if she exercised some critical thinking, you know, and I guess actually thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That said, I do definitely think that there are people that are out there that, you know, when going up for partnership would probably make the same decisions just because it is a huge milestone career-wise. It does come with a huge pay raise in most cases, so I can understand that, but definitely just not a good look, man. I mean, ugh.
Sorry. Just had a really long day.
Oh, why don't we shake all that off? Take in the night. Nothing less than you deserve. Ingrid Young, you're the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. I love you. Will you marry me?
Oh, dude, after a client event.
Also terrible, but just generally terrible timing, I think. If you notice that like that day has been crap.
I'm not here for it.
Oh my god.
That got kind of dark real quick. I feel like a lot of the
Yeah.
themes now are getting towards the slightly more negative side of things.
Yeah. I guess personally, I was relieved that there was relatively less making out in this scene because I'm the one editing most of the reaction videos, and when and that means I have to watch the episodes over and over again when I edit them. And then, oh my god, the episode 5 was kind of rough.
Yeah, all in all, I do think it's becoming more of a drama show than a legal show, but I do think that there are some small details that I do appreciate. So I think, obviously, the one, with respect to Dan being a rainmaker, bringing in a lot of clients, and sort of the treatment that he gets, I mean, again, it's a bit exaggerated, I guess, but that is something that does definitely happen. So, kudos to them for pointing that out.
I guess it also feels like we're about to see more of the literal partner track, since that seems to be very imminent now.
So they're building up to.
Yeah, which will be interesting.
Anyways, catch you guys in the next one.